happened to this? Is the patient breathing?
Yeah, but he's not responding to me. He's 3.
He's 3. He's 3 years old.
He's 3 years old. He's not
Okay,
responding.
he's not responding.
No, he's sick. Like, I've gone to the doctors this morning and come back home, but he's not responding to me.
Okay, is his breathing noisy or quiet?
He's breathing quiet.
He's breathing quiet, and he's 3 years old.
Yes.
Okay, just stay calm for me. We've got the help arranged. What's the address?
Hello and welcome to Crime Time UK. Today we're going to look at the most heinous of crimes, when a parent kills their own child. Every week in the UK, at least one child is killed by their parent. Today we're going to look at 4 of those children. This is Kamali Watson Derby. He was only 3 years old when he was brutally murdered by his mother's boyfriend. In the weeks leading up to Kamali's death, he had suffered more than 20 rib fractures and was constantly in pain. Only hours after leaving McDonald's with his mother, he was brutally beaten and killed by his mother's boyfriend. Shortly after the 999 call, paramedics turned up and found Kamali's lifeless body with a crushed ribcage. He had no chance. And this was the aftermath of Kamali's murder. This is the last known CCTV of Kamali, less than 4 hours before he was killed. Alicia Watson, who was Kamali's mother, ended up receiving 11 years in prison for causing his murder and another 3 years for child cruelty. Nathaniel Pope, who was Alicia's boyfriend, got a minimum term of 24 years in prison. This is Arthur Labinjo-Hughes. At 6 years old, his life was taken away by his stepmother. Arthur never had much luck in life. The first few years of his life he was living with his mother, until she killed her partner in February 2019, and then the responsibility of Arthur was transferred to his father. Over the course of the 11 months when he was living with his dad, he was severely beaten, starved and punished. He was called Satan, Hitler, Devil Child and Weasel on a regular basis. Over a 3-day period, he was made to stand in a hallway for 35 hours. As you can see from this video, you can see that Arthur's in severe pain and barely able to pick up a blanket. This video shows Arthur's dad and his stepmother enjoying an ice cream, while Arthur was out in the hallway starving to death. Arthur's father, Thomas, was initially sentenced to 21 years in prison, which was then increased to 24 years. His stepmother, Emma Tustin, was jailed for 29 years minimum. But the cowards that they are, they appealed their sentences.
The fourth case concerns the death of 6-year-old Arthur Labinjo-Hughes. On the 2nd of December 2021, Emma Tustin was convicted of his murder. She had pleaded guilty to 2 counts of child cruelty relating to him and was convicted of 2 more. Thomas Hughes was convicted of Arthur's manslaughter as an alternative to murder and 2 counts of child cruelty. He was Arthur's father. Tustin was his partner. On the 3rd of December 2021, Tustin was sentenced to imprisonment for life with a minimum term of 29 years, together with 10 years imprisonment on each count of child cruelty, to run concurrently. Hughes was sentenced to 21 years imprisonment for manslaughter and 9 years imprisonment on each count of child cruelty, to run concurrently. Both seek leave to appeal against sentence. The Attorney General seeks leave to refer both sentences as unduly lenient. We refuse Tustin leave to extend time or leave to appeal against sentence. Although we grant the Attorney General leave to refer the sentence of life imprisonment with a minimum term of 29 years for murder, we do not consider it unduly lenient. The circumstances of this case do not fall within the terms of the statutory provision, which provides that a whole life order should be the normal starting point following conviction for murder, subject to possible adjustment for the individual facts. It is not one of those rare cases where nonetheless a whole life order should be imposed. We refuse Hughes leave to appeal against sentence, but grant the Attorney General's application for leave to refer the sentence of 21 years imprisonment. Taking account of all the offending and the circumstances, we accept that the sentence is unduly lenient and substitute a sentence of 24 years imprisonment. Our full reasons are set out in the written judgment. That concludes this short hearing.
This is Kaylee-Jade Priest, who was found dead at her flat when she was 3 years old. It's claimed that Kaylee was getting in the way of her mother and her stepfather having sex, and this was the reason why she was killed. Over the course of her short life, she was beaten pretty much every single day, and there was text messages between her mum and her boyfriend. One would say, "I've just smacked her," and the boyfriend would say, "Good, give her one for me." and the mum replied, "I will, babe." In the months leading up to Kaylee's death, she had suffered from broken ribs, lower leg fractures, and a broken sternum. Kaylee's mum Nicola did call 999, but by that time, Kaylee was already dead. Kaylee's mum Nicola was sentenced to 15 years in prison, and her boyfriend Callum Redfern was sentenced to 14 years in prison for manslaughter.
My kids are in bed.
Yes. What address?
18 Victory Road, Mrs. Philpott.
Mrs. Philpott. How many kids are in the house, Mrs. Philpott? Where are they?
I'm 6 of them.
Are there any flames there?
Oh my God, please.
Alright, we've got the fire service coming on the way.
I can't get in the bed in the kitchen. I'm 6 of them.
Is it a terraced house? Yeah, but we've got the police on the way. Have you any idea what's caused the fire?
I've no idea, mate, but it's been woke up by day long. There's smoke everywhere.
There's smoke everywhere.
I can't get out.
Okay, what's your name, please?
I can't do it. There's no noise from its children. There's no noise from its children.
This case is very harrowing, where 6 young children lost their lives at the hands of their parents. Mick and Mairead Philpott played victim, saying that someone tried to set their house on fire while their children slept upstairs. They both went on national TV pleading for witnesses, but as soon as the cameras were turned off, it was claimed Mick was laughing and joking. In the months leading up to the fire, Mick and Mairead was always trying to get a bigger house, but the council kept on refusing, so setting a fire they thought they would get opportunities to get a bigger house. Because of their selfishness, their 6 young children died. Jade, John, Jack, Jess and Jaden died on the morning of the fire. Dwayne died 3 days later. Mick and Mairead Philpott were sentenced to 17 years in prison, but shockingly they were released after 8 years. Well, thank you very much for watching, and rest in peace to all those young souls who lost their lives needlessly. Till next time, take care.